This is important. You don't want to miss this, okay? This is the premise that essentially all of personal finance is built upon, okay? So here we go. I want to start off with an example. Our friend Blue invests $5,000 a year into the stock market each year between the ages of 25 and 35. Total invested over the 10-year span, $50,000. Only between 25 and 35, okay? A lot of us are probably that age. A lot of us are 25 or 35 years old. Think about investing $5,000 a year, what that would look like in your budget. It can be attainable for most of us, I would say, but you might have to scrimp and scrounge to pull that kind of money. But just think about the sacrifices you make for $5,000 a year, okay? Or maybe it'd be easy. It depends on your financial situation, okay? That's our friend Blue. Compare it with our friend Purple. $5,000 a year also, but Purple invests between age 35 and 65 each year. So while Blue only invested for 10 years total, Purple invested for 30 years, $5,000 a year for 30 years, a total of $150,000 in total by investing between 35 and 30. Purple is what we think of when we think of investing. We think, we don't have to worry about that until we hit, until you have kids or until you get closer to retirement. I'm just going to live it up now. I'm in my 20s and 30s. That's us. This is our parents. This is what we think of someone who needs to invest. Okay? Purple. Now, our friend Green. Green invests $5,000 a year between the ages of 25 and 65. So for 40 years, Green every single year invests $5,000 in the stock market. And that total amount invested is $200,000 over the course of 40 years, okay? And compared to 50,000, 150, and 200,000, okay? When we think about Green in our lives, they might be, someone who's like, why would you invest for so long? Why not just wait like Purple here, okay? Now, okay, like the game of life. You're ending up at the end. Will you go to Millionaire Estates or will you go to Countryside Acres? We're about to find out where these people end up at age 65. Fast forward 40 years. And here we go. How much money does our friend Blue come up with? Okay, after 40 years, Blue's up with $602,000. That is a pretty good nest egg, wouldn't you say? I think a lot of us could say, hey, you combine that with Social Security, you could make a living off of that at age 65, onwards, okay? All from investing $5,000 a year for 10 years only. For 30 years, they didn't invest or save any money for retirement. They just invested when they were young, and look how much money that got them. Think about that. Purple. What's our good friend Purple, man? He invested for 30 years. This guy's got to be making bank. If this person got 602, well, check this out. After 40 years, our friend Mr. Purple, $540,000. $540,000. Maybe we say, oh man, that's a lot of money. Yeah, that's a lot of money, but this guy also invested for 30 years. Compare that to our friend who only invested for 10 years in their 20s and 30s. He actually ended up with more money, and he invested a third total of what this guy did. What does that tell us? It tells us how important it is to invest money when we're young, okay? Now, Mr. Green, Mr. Ideal, this is what we'd all like to be. We like to see consistent investing from age 25 with that first job as an intern all the way to age 65 when, who knows, you're an executive or maybe you early retired or who knows what you're doing at age 65, okay? But every year, consistently, Mr. Green invested $5,000 a year, $200,000 total. Where does he end up at age 65, after 40 years total of investing? $1,142,000. You want to be a millionaire? Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you that it is as easy as investing $5,000 a year for 40 years, and the compounded returns will do their thing. $1,142,000. So look at this. Let this sink in for a second, okay? These years matter, but each successive year that you get older, it matters a little bit less. It matters the most the younger you are, okay? So if you can start when you're theoretically $15,000 a summer job, and you could maybe pocket and invest even $2,000 or $3,000 of that, I mean, that's going to put you miles ahead. Now you might ask me, what is this voodoo? How does it work? Okay, I'm not going to pull out the math here, but what I will tell you is that compound interest is essentially making money on your money that's making money, okay? So think about it, if you have $100 and it's 10% interest, for example, and you get $10 at the end of that annual compounding interest cycle. So you get $10. Now you have $110. Now the next year, you go $110. You get 10% of that, which is $11. So see how? So now you add 11 to 110. Now you're $121. Next year you get 10% of that off 121. That's $12.1. Okay, it doesn't seem like a lot, but you keep doing that, and after 40 years. And this is probably taking, for example, like an 8% interest rate, okay? So not even 10%. So like what you would get in the market. After 30 years, the growth essentially is like this. Little, dollar here, dollar there, 10, 20, 50, 1,000. Because over time, you keep getting more and more and more. And it curves upwards in an exponential fashion. So you're like 1, 2, 10, 33, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then all of a sudden you're making thousands of dollars, and all of a sudden you're making tens of thousands of dollars every year by doing nothing. Your money's making that money for you just by sitting there invested, because you're reinvesting what's called dividends, which are essentially, it's like you're loaning the company's money and they pay you back in dividends, essentially, and including the valuation growth of the stocks, you're going to see roughly an 8% year-over-year increase. And over time, mathematics shows that you're just going to keep increasing. The more time you have, the more money you're going to make, and in exponential fashion. So, guys, this has been a very simple primer on compounded interest. You gotta invest when you're young. Okay. Take that away from this video. Thanks for joining me here at your personal finance professor. It's been a joy to be here with you today. Take care, start investing. That's all for today.